So, with all these issues in our outer environment, we need trust. And the reason I say that is there's been a breakdown in trust with um, authority figures in our lives. So, first of all, where does trust begin? Okay. Usually, not always, but usually trust comes from the parent-child relationship from day one. There's mom, she may be nursing you, um, dad is providing for you, and there's that relationship. Now, it's not always a trust building relationship. Sometimes it's dysfunctional. And in the history of humanity, we've come through in even in my lifetime quite a bit of dysfunction. Okay. So if we don't get a trusting relationship from our parents, where else can we go? Well, we go to school. Of course, school is different from when I was young, but there's a potential trust relationship with a teacher. There's the religious side where you might have a minister or a counselor there in that religious facility that can provide a relationship. Friends, you can develop friendships, but even then, if you don't learn it early, it's very difficult to achieve. And by extension, our view of trust with our parents when we're young is our view of God, the source, because our parents are our world for such a long time. And sometimes we're not even taught how to build a relationship with the source or the creator or our higher selves. A lot of church happens, but not the education necessarily around that issue. So, how is trust built? It's built by consistency in the behavior, doing what one says they're going to do. That's how it happens. We learn trust by hearing someone say, I'm going to do this, and then they do it, especially when it's in relation to you as the child. Like, I'm going to take you on a picnic tomorrow. Well, if you repeatedly tell a child you're going on a picnic or you're going to the lake and you don't, there becomes a breakdown in trust. So we want to learn to trust ourselves, which can be difficult if we didn't learn it in some other scenario. But when we have such a huge oppressive energy surrounding us, it can be difficult to trust, and often we project our mistrust onto everyone else. So the way to build that trust with your higher self is to sit and quietly converse with it as though it I used to sit as though Carl, my guide, would be sitting across from me, and we would do meditation together. And when I would come out of it, my chakras would be spinning like crazy. It was so incredible. So this can happen, and you build trust with that part of yourself over time. You listen and then you watch, and you listen and you watch and you learn. So, and then by extension, eventually that opens up into a even bigger entity or energy, intelligence that you're relating with and learning to trust. And that does happen, especially if you ask for it. So, in yoga, when we do poses that are difficult or challenging or scary, like a lot of people initially were a little leery of flipping the dog, when you're in down dog and you take your up into three-legged, bend your knee and you flip your dog and then you're in an arch. Well, some people they don't know where the floor is and they're a little bit frightened. So you learn over time to take it a little bit at a time and learn to trust. You can have your teacher help you, or, the Zoom video is really great. You can watch yourself do yoga and see yourself as you take your leg over and open up into the flip dog or the wild thing. So I hope that all makes sense, but I think it's a good thing for today. I was out in that energy and it's like soup, and you can feel people's stress everywhere. So if you're sensitive at all, which as long as you've been practicing yoga, I suspect you have uh, quite a bit of sensitivity, then use your protection. Place your pyramid over you, whether you're standing or sitting, and then another one joined at the base facing downward. That's a great protection for your emotions, and you can fill it with peaceful blue light or rose colored light, whatever you want to do. Um, but, make your choices and do what's right for you, do what's good for you. So, having said that, we're just going to kind of settle in and sit tall in easy pose. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. If you want your hands in a mudra, pick your favorite one or the one you're choosing for today. For a moment or two, bring your attention to your heart center. That can be either your sternum, your fourth chakra, or it can be your high heart area or your whole chest, however you want to view that. But just bring your attention to heart energy. And just kind of notice, are you consistent with taking care of yourself? Are you learning self trust, a deeper trust through taking care of yourself? And that includes, yes, you're in yoga, but your nutrition and your breath, your speech, impeccable speech, it all adds up to trust. And then draw your awareness down and notice your breathing, your solar plexus area. Of course, your chest will move too, so follow your breath. Let your breath slow down. You don't have to take deep breaths or anything, just allow it to slow as far as your pace. Notice your nervous system. Have your nerves gotten a little jangled recently? They feel pretty calm. Notice your thoughts. Are they racing through your mind? Or are they slowing down a little bit with your breath? And notice muscles and joints, the physical sensations around your body. Check everywhere. See if you're holding tight. And we'll attune to breath. Just bring your palms in, prayer hands, and breathe a deep breath. Lift and open out, cleansing your aura, bringing in light into your body. So this time we're going to turn. So breathe up and open to the left, opening your right arm front, left arm back. And bring palms together and breathe. Other side, left arm front, right arm back. Exhale down. And we're going to repeat that, all three. Breathe up in center. Long exhale. And then breathe. Turn left. Open your arms, cleansing and drawing light down into your body. Breathe. And to your right. Back to center. And we're going to repeat those one more time, all three. Center. Breathe. Over to your left. Breathe. Last time. To your right. Back to center. And we'll just reach forward, slide your hands out in front of you. Little stretch for your hip joints and your low back, shoulders. And just walk your hands in a little bit and come over to your left thigh. Lengthen out through your spine. Inhale. Exhale, relax down over your leg. Notice where you feel it. And use your right arm. Reach out. Get a shoulder stretch and up into your trapezius.
And lift up. Bring your right hand onto your left knee and scoop your left arm out. Breathe it up, and we'll come into our twist to the back. Wringing out, squeezing out tension or toxins in the spinal column, the muscles in the back. Press down in your hips and breathe your left arm up to your ear. Face your leg once again and scoop it up and come into a little back bend here. Stretch, lift your heart, your ribs. Look up to the light. And release, slowly coming down. And just turning to the front, we're going to lean back and switch our feet. And just slide your hands out in front of you once again. Feel your hips, notice the sensations. Notice if the side is different somehow from the first side. And then walk your hands in a little ways and then walk over to your right leg. Reach your left arm across. Stretch. You probably feel it all the way down into your hip, your thigh, in your shoulder. And press up, holding on to your right knee with your left hand, scooping your right arm up for your twist. Breathe and twist around, using your arms for leverage. Look over your shoulder. Relax a little more on each exhale. Press down in your hips and breathe your right arm next to your right ear. And then face your right leg and scoop it up. Inhale, lift, and back into a little back bend. And then release, coming out of it. And unfold your legs, just stretch them out. Press the back of your legs into the mat and circle around in your ankles. And reverse. And then
Stretch your heels away. Press the back of your legs against the mat. Lift in your spine in Dandasana, staff pose. And then point your toes and flex. Good. And shake them out. And then bring your hands behind you. Palms can be either direction, fingers forward or back, but just lift up in your sternum. Draw your shoulder blades closer together. Reach up into an arch. And release, coming forward. Just slide your hands down, but hinge forward in your hips. Lead with your chest. Just a loosening for the back of your legs. Not your ultimate stretch yet. We're just getting warmed up yet. And then come back up. So bring both hands on the mat, just outside of your hips, and come over onto your right hip. The right leg, flex the foot and is straight. Bring your left knee over, and you're just going to keep your right hand under your shoulder and scoop it up with your left arm and press up into an assisted plank, side plank. Now, if you feel inspired, you can lengthen that leg out. Do you trust yourself to slide it out and hold the pose? Nice long line. And bring that foot back in and gently lower yourself down. And we'll come over to the other side. Onto your left hip, flex that foot, leg is straight. Cross over with your right foot. Left palm under your shoulder. Start to face forward. And then just scoop it up. Press down on your foot. It's flexed, so you have the whole outer edge of that foot. And optional, you can slide that leg down, coming into a side plank. Bring your right foot back and lower down gently, coming back. Now loosen up in your wrist, just circle around. Bend your elbows. You were using a lot of leverage in your plank. And fingers. Okay, now once again, sitting tall, bring your hands behind you, shoulder blades pulling together, lift up and arch in your back, lift your chin, open your throat chakra, your heart, solar plexus, second chakra. First chakra is pointing down to the earth. And come forward, sitting tall. Just breathe, arms up overhead, reach. Exhale, hinge forward into your Paschimottanasana. Forward bend. Breathe and lengthen. Exhale, relax.
and then scoop it forward. Reach with your fingertips. Use your arms to lift your torso up. Exhale your arms back down, and we'll come into our inclined plane. So point your toes, press down in your palms, and lift. Breathe your hips up. Use your core muscles to lift as well. And lower it down. Breathe arms overhead. Reach. Exhale, hinge forward. Pause and let the stretch happen. Trust your body. It knows. We just need to listen. And then scoop it forward and press up. One more inclined plane. Exhale, arms down. Point your toes. Breathe and lift. See if your toes will reach the floor. And optional, you can lift one leg, lift it up, straighten and lift to the ceiling. Keep your hips up and down. Other side. Breathe your knee in, lift your hips. Reach your toes to the ceiling, bend and come down. All right, beautiful. Swing your legs around for our puppy stretch. And then lift up. And I'd like to have us work with our backs a little bit more in the arch. Bring your hips forward, kind of hang in traction initially. Legs are close together as much as possible. Keep pulling away from your knees, shoulders away from your ears, and you can roll side to side. Come back into center, just roll it out. Give your low back some jiggles. Pull back into puppy stretch. Stretch out your work. And then lift back up. Bring palms in. Bring your hips forward. And see how it feels this time. Rolling side to side. Now, lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Inhale. Squeeze shoulder blades together and bend your elbows. If you need to adjust a little bit, if your hands are in too close, just let them out a little and come into your cobra. Bring the pubic triangle onto the mat. Shoulders down away from your ears. And pull back into child's pose, stretching out your work. Bring your arms all the way around so that your thumbs are by your ankles, and relax your elbows, soft elbows, slightly bent. And breathe. And then bring your palms forward and press up, sitting on your heels. So if you ever have pain in your body, you can heal it yourself oftentimes. And that's where the trust thing comes in with your body, your relationship with your body, and your body to your mind. So we're just going to imagine for a moment. Come up onto your knees and bring your left leg out into a high lunge. Overlap your palms on that knee. Take in your breath and reach up. And exhale. Come forward. So say you have pain in the psoas or the groin area on your right side. Pull in, take in a breath. When you breathe, you direct your breath into that area. Exhale, take it slow. Go to the first point of resistance, the first point of pain, and pause there. Take in another deep breath. Lift up through your crown. Exhale and see if your body will allow you to go a little further into the stretch. And then pull back a little bit, take in a breath. Exhale. Come forward, stay lifted in your ribs, shoulder blades down. So if it hurts where you're at, just pull back slightly. Press both feet firmly down into the ground. Pull out of it slightly, take in another deep breath. Direct it in. That's pranayama, is directing the breath into that area where you feel the pain or stiffness. And then exhale and lower down. And see if you can hold. And then bring your arms to your sides and breathe up. Reach up and look in between your palms. Bring your palms in and then down onto the floor. And just back off of that stretch in your sun pose and just switch your feet. So we're going to check the other side. So lift up. And if you need to place a cushion or overlap your mat to soften under your knee, you can do that, making it more comfortable. Overlap your palms. Lift up out of that supporting knee. Reach up through your spine. Exhale and come to the first point of resistance. And pull back. Inhale, just loosening it up. Press down on that front knee. That helps to stabilize. Pull back. Go a little bit further. Just check it out. Still reaching up through the ribs, the crown. Pull a little further back. Exhale into the stretch. Firmly
Press both feet into the ground and arms out. Breathe them up. Reach. And bring your palms down into sun pose. Look up. Turn the toes under on the back foot. Lift your knee. Press down in your palms and pull your right foot back and just head right into downward facing dog. Stretch your heels down. Now, for those who are maturing like I am, we want to strengthen the front part of our ankles. So press your heels down and just make the attempt to lift the front end of your foot, the ball and the toes. It's not going to happen. It's just not possible. But it causes you to utilize the muscles in the front of your ankle and to stretch the back so that as you age, you maintain the flexibility in that ankle, both ankles, and you don't drag your foot, causing you to fall. So come forward into plank. Come onto the tops of your feet. Come into up dog. Knees are not on the floor, they're up off the floor. And roll up and over your toes, back into down dog. And then walk your feet in, head to knee pose. Take in your breath. Exhale it down. Here again, if you feel tight in your hamstrings, sometimes they need the roller to separate them out and spread them out sideways. But to give a little stretch here, take in your breath, tilt your hips up, exhale your body in a little closer if it'll come. And take your arms out to the side, lengthen out in your spine, reach with your crown as though there's a pole on it and you're lifting that pole up to the ceiling. Bring arms overhead. Bring palms in, prayer hands, just for a couple of moments. And just mentally repeat, I trust myself, and I trust my higher self and the source from which all comes, all is created. I trust. And take in your breath. You can open your eyes now. Soften your knees and just reach your left leg back into warrior one. And see how your legs feel after your sun pose. Breathe arms overhead. Point your hips forward. Reach your arms out. And just bring your left arm forward, right arm back. Turn your head into a little twist here. And then bring palms into prayer. Pull back in the front leg. Step it in. And breathe. Notice the sensations in your legs especially. Take in your breath. Soften both knees. Right leg back into warrior one. Breathe arms overhead. Squeeze your ears if you can. Reach your arms out to the side and pivot slowly. Take your time. Twisting over to your left. Stay tall. And bring your palms back in. Pull back, step it in, shake it all out. Shoulders. Did you tighten up at all during that? Work your shoulders here. Okay. Are you feeling more trusting? All right, so separate your feet out to the side. You may need to turn sideways or you can move your mat, whichever works best for you. Engage your legs. Come out into five-pointed star. And we'll come into warrior two just for some hip opening. We didn't really do much with that. So turn out your left leg, toes away, press your right heel away, hips still pointing forward. Take in your breath. Exhale the knee out. If you need to loosen up a little more, just vinyasa. In and out. And then come into your stance. Be sure to press down in that back hip. That's going to give you an amazing stretch in the front too, in the groin area. And pull your right hand down, lift your left arm up and reach. Come into a side stretch. Reverse warrior. Mindful of the front knee. Come back into warrior two. Inhale the knee in. We're just going to switch sides. Nothing exotic. Just working on being the best we can be, trusting our body. Take in your breath. Exhale out. If you need to loosen up a little more, just in and out a few times. Come out and hold. Press the heel away on the back foot. And gaze over the fingertips, over the bent knee. And reversed warrior, lift it up. And pull it back. Warrior two. Inhale, pull it in, step it in, and a standing twist. Just loosen it all up. Lift the outside heel to protect your knees. And back to center. All right, just come down onto your mat, sitting on your heels, so thunderbolt pose. Bring your hands around to the back. Press down on your hands. You can be on your fingertips, the knuckles, the inside of your knuckles, or on your palms. But we're just going to lift our hips up to stretch the thighs, open the chest. A good toning for your hips. And lower down. And comes down sitting on your mat, legs forward. Prepare for your Shavasana. If your body is just really craving some other move that you can do on the floor, then again, listen to your body. Your body learns to trust you, and you learn to trust your body. And then we take that trust and that confidence out into the outer environment off the mat. You want to be as comfortable as you can. Just for a moment, draw your low back down into the mat, ground into the earth, and then draw your shoulder blades under you and press them into the mat. Then press the back of your neck, stretch it down into the mat. And then relax down, down to that home base, your center, the peaceful center. See if you can go a little deeper than usual. Remember the deepest relaxation you had in the past and start there and go deeper. Staying present. Feel the endorphins flowing through your body, that sense of well-being. And then mix in some gratitude, the emotion of gratitude, not just the thought. Now, without moving just yet, imagine yourself taking a ladle and dipping it into that peaceful energy from home, from your center. And just imagine bringing it with you as you come back. Filled with light. Now start to become aware of your body, your physicalness. Bring in some movement into your hands and feet. Take your head side to side gently. Draw your low back down against the mat. Slide your feet together and lift your knees. Give them a big hug. They do a lot of work every day. And just rock over to the side and press up into sitting. Bring your hands into your favorite mudra, sealing in the benefits, sealing in your trust of yourself, your higher self, and the source. And then bring palms into Anjali Mudra, prayer hands. With trust comes confidence. So may you feel that trust and confidence as you go into the outer environment off the mat, feeling good, strong, confident. Namaste, everybody.
Thank you, Michelle. That was awesome.